2017 annual hurricane exercise for St. Johns County. And this is the first time we've been together since the end of Hurricane Matthew. So one, I'm glad you all came back, and two, I'm glad you came back with smiles on your face. This is the first time the Emergency Operations Center is back together since those 24 days with Hurricane Matthew. So it's important for us to maintain those relationships and continue working together and collaborating in coordination. Second part is, once we start Hurricane Henry, is we will be faced with the same decision-making points that are going to be very similar to what we faced in Hurricane Matthew. So we will have those breakout meetings for us to talk about who are we going to evacuate, when is the evacuation timing, what shelters are we going to open, and work through that process together. And then on the flip side, let's talk about reentry, talk about points of distribution, and post-impact sheltering. Once we're finished with that, the third phase is going to be talking about recovery. Recovery is the longest phase of emergency management and also the financial phase. So we're going to spend a little bit of time at the end of the day talking about the recovery process that we've been through.
This exercise today is going to throw some challenges at us. We don't know what those challenges are going to be yet because we're not privy to what's coming. And so it could be a more powerful storm than what Matthew presented to us, so that we have to adjust and so that we have to maybe overcome even more challenges than we had in Matthew. We were taxed then. We're a growing community. We have more and more residents, and so we know that we have some specific challenges that lay ahead of us. We're moving now into the hurricane season, and so today's exercise allows us, and the EOC here allows us the opportunity to train together as one big team again, like we did during Matthew, work on those issues that we're identifying right now in the room behind us, the issues that we need to overcome, what we can do better. And so today's exercise will allow us to practice that, to put it into a real forward-moving format, and so that if in fact we have another hurricane, and we hope we won't, but if in fact we have another hurricane this season or next, we'll be even more prepared to help the citizens of St. Johns County.
I think every time we do these types of exercises, we look back at the past and we can determine how can we improve, what things did we do well, what things can we improve on. So I think today the biggest thing always is going to be communication. The value of this room is that you have all of these agencies in one place. We can easily walk and talk to each other. We can recognize what needs some other agency may have that you might be able to provide. Specifically relating to the communication aspect is the idea of how can we craft messages that get the right information to our people. We saw that during Hurricane Matthew, and in some areas we did really good at getting people what they wanted to know. In other areas we maybe didn't know what they needed to know, so we kind of learned as we went is what are the priorities for the citizens when it comes to evacuating, when it comes to reentry, when it comes to services. So I guess today, being in the room, we kind of know what those gaps may have been, and we can develop procedures that's going to allow us to get the right messages to the right people in a timely fashion that works based on the scenario we're dealing with.